Download the BCSN Plus app today. Local sports all the time. Visit bcsnnation.com for details. Discounts may apply.
Well, a very tired Toledo Walleye club comes back home this weekend for 3 games as we welcome in Matt Melzak. And Matt, they're going through a stretch. They just completed a stretch. 10 games, 6 of those games went to overtime.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra hockey they have played. However, when you look at that, Toledo is now 7-1 in their last 8 overtime games with the win over the Cincinnati this weekend, Kalamazoo this weekend. They've improved. They just continue to improve. They beat Cincinnati Friday in OT. They got through the OT without a game winner on Saturday and then got the shootout win. So, but this is a team that is 7-1 in their last 8. Remember we talked about at the beginning of the year, hey, they were 1-6.
Yeah,
to start the year in OT. Oh, they're not any good. You can't win an overtime game. Now they're 7-1 in the last 8 times in the OT.
We've got plenty of new faces because at this time of the year, college season comes to an end. Walleye pick up a couple of college kids, and they made an impact this weekend.
They really did this weekend. It was great to see Colby Ambrosio right away, goal and an assist in the game Friday night. Dylan Moulton picks up a goal on Saturday night, the defenseman. So added a forward, added a defenseman out of a Miami of Ohio program that struggled this year. But, Colby Ambrosio had 4 years already at Boston College, big-time college program, and then just played his 5th year there in Miami of Ohio. So, yeah, some nice ads, and I think you could see more coming forward from the Toledo Walleyes. More teams get eliminated. It's possible. Pat Mickish and his staff says, you know what, there's another college guy we want to pluck and bring into the fold. We see it every year at this time.
Let's talk about the other big thing that happened this weekend. We mentioned they went to overtime Saturday in Kalamazoo. Just by going to overtime, Walleye secured a playoff spot. Now, we have to be careful about how we say this. It is the 9th straight postseason in which the ECHL has had a postseason, in which the Toledo Walleye have competed, that Toledo has reached the postseason. The streak continues.
Yeah, correct. There was a postseason when Toledo did not play that season during COVID where they did not have a team. So that's where your line is correct. But it's 9 straight appearances for the Toledo Walleye in the postseason. This was no surprise. Toledo was going to get into the playoffs.
And they're the first in the West to clinch.
Yes, first team in the Western Conference to clinch because they actually have more points right now than Kansas City. So you're kind of now you're watching those things. You're watching what does Fort Wayne and Iowa struggle a little bit here lately, which has pushed them down a little bit. What is Fort Wayne doing? That's the team you're watching for the Central Division, and then you're watching Kansas City out in the Mountain Division, as we saw last year. Having that home ice when you get to that third round, it ended up being very huge for Kansas City because they came in, won a couple of games in Toledo. Walleye had to try to rebound with 4 straight games in Kansas City. It was going to be a tough stretch for them, no doubt about it. So you want to have that home ice so you can start at home, you can finish at home.
So that's one of the things we're going to be keeping our eye on, not only if they're going to clinch the Central, clinch the Western, but also who that first-round opponent is going to be. All those things to be determined in the next couple of weeks as the Toledo Walleye gear up for the postseason. Matt Melzak, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Mark.